Tell them that I told you, won't be any longer. Devil gonna leave you, he's heading over yonder.
Welcome Taste Designs 107. I'm the AEST and the Car Packs, and you're the kings and queens. Today, what if these guys is a Photoshop tutorial showing you how you can make this really cool effect. If you want to have something floating in the water, especially for like product previews or anything really, you can incorporate this effect. And I'm going to teach you how to make it in Photoshop right here, right now. But there is one huge question that I have to address before I can even try to attempt to ignore it. Why I've been inactive off YouTube for 8 months. 8 motherfucking months. Sorry for swearing, that's insane, and yeah, I got some explaining to do. So I'll do that later on in another video because this tutorial is already going to be as long as it is. But for the short end story is that I kind of lost motivation in YouTube, so I didn't want to push out content which I didn't enjoy making because it would reflect in the videos and the video quality would drop, everything like that. Also, my past Twitter got suspended because I called out someone for being a scam. He was scamming clients and that, saying that he would make stuff when he actually wasn't. He was taking other artists' works and then just selling it for their work to them. So I called him out. He obviously reported my Twitter, so it got suspended. So I've got a new Twitter, and let me show you it and just go what it's called. Follow it. I would really appreciate that because it's currently got 0 followers. So yeah, this is my new Twitter. Updates will be made on it later, everything like that. So make sure you go follow it. Link is in the description. I really want to stress that because that's where you get all the updates for the channel, all the behind the scene videos and photos, as well as you can talk to me on Twitter. You can send me DMs about designs. You can send me anything. So that's the way to get in contact with me. I respond to each and every one of you from now on because I'm coming back to YouTube. I'm making the return. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, make sure you go follow my Twitter. That's a huge thing that I want to push. I'm sorry that I've been inactive for 8 months. It just shows that it kind of showed that I didn't really value what I had, but I really did. I just didn't have the motivation. I got really busy with school. Now I've graduated school. I'm in university, so everything like that. I'll explain everything later, but yeah. So I've got a lot more videos coming out, but let's go straight into the video. So this is the effect that we'll be making today. It's pretty cool. It doesn't require magic bullet looks. I just wanted to do something simple, but actually quite complex if you don't know how to do it. So here it is, and this preview that I did, the blurry bit, I don't like that. I'll make it more sharp when we actually do the tutorial and you can kind of see what the difference is. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So you might need a couple files for this video. You have the splash effects right here, as well as this one, and this one, this one, and this one. All the assets will be in the description below. It will just be in a folder for you all to download. So if you want to do this tutorial and follow along, just go down in the description below, open up the assets download link, and then download those. Those should be good to ready to go. All right, so let's get straight into it. How far am I? 3 minutes. All right, it's not too late. Sorry, I've not done this for a long time, so it might take me a little bit to adjust, but everything should be fine in the end. I've also got some more videos coming out later this week, as well as tomorrow, maybe. So yeah. Anyway, so let's go to File New. and let's start this baby off. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm just going to straight away open up the ocean picture, which should be in here, but it's not. Great. Okay, awesome start off to the video. So hang on, it should be in my downloads. If not, okay, there it is. Alright, sweet as. So here is the image. Now if I go into the image size, it's really high in depth. It's like, that's in inches, so in pixels, 6K by 4K. Come on, that's huge. But we're going to be working with this because of, you can always change it down to a lower res like I did with this preview and everything like that. So once we've got the image into Photoshop, we're going to go to File, Open, and we're going to go and open up the G4 PNG. So I'm going to drag and drop this into my document by pressing V for the Move tool. I'm going to press Ctrl T to resize this. I'm going to hold Shift and Control and resize that baby up. Okay, so now once we've got this on our document, we can start to go to work. Now it's going to look quite average for now, but you know, we will work on it. So just press Ctrl T, hold Shift, or don't hold Shift, and just rotate this on the edge. So it's kind of looking like it's floating, you know what I mean? Because you know, things don't float kind of like this. You know, just gotta slant it a little bit. Alright, sweet as, like that. Press Ctrl Shift Enter if you want to cancel, confirm the selection. Alright, once we've done that, we need to grab our pen tool. So to do that, we are going to press P on our keyboard. That's going to select the pen tool automatically if you're new to Photoshop. And we're just going to press Ctrl J on our background first of all. Our background layer is here, and we're going to drag this above here. Then lower the opacity of this layer down to like just like 50% so we can see what we're working with. Alright, so I'm feeling like I'm going to make the cut somewhere. Now you can always move this one like that, and then see what it kind of looks like there. So yeah, it's kind of looking good like that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to bump up the opacity, and this will show me where I'll have to cut along. So to do this, I'm going to go around here, and I'm just going to stop around the U part. And I'm going to make this bit curve back into here, so it kind of looks like the water's going all the way around the corner of the can, because like if we cut it off early, it won't look right. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to do that, and then what did I do first? I cut this off, so I'm going to go around on the top and get the top bit. So this is the bit that we want to show. Also, you'll be hearing my like mouse clicks and everything with my mic. I'm sorry, that's really annoying. I kind of got a new setup and everything, so yeah, I can't really fix it right now. I just want to pump out a video because I'm feeling keen. So yeah, so let's make a selection on that, press OK. Alright, so once we've got that going, we can just keep the background copy for now, but we can press Control X, and what's that gonna do is it's gonna cut that thing from there. Press Control V, and it's gonna paste it back onto the document. Now we can move that back on and just position it ever so slightly to automatically be in the same space. Okay, so once we've done that, we are going to press Control, and we're going to get the selection. We're gonna Control click the thumbnail. Sorry, I'm just like, it's kind of hard to go back in your brain and how do you do the effect automatically. So we're gonna go at the quick selection tool, go to the plus sign and just go around that wave, you know, and add to the selection, right? Add to the godly selection that we have done, and it's not. Fuck. Actually, control click this bit right here and we are going to take away from this bit right down here and go up here. Now hopefully you can understand what I've done that. So I'm taking the top part of the can over the wave off the image. So once we press Control Shift I to invert the selection, press delete, that's going to delete that little triangle bit there. Now we could have done that many different ways, but you know, we kind of get something like this. Now if it doesn't look nicely cut, it doesn't matter, because we're going to be moving this bit like down here and like that, and then we're going to resize it because everything underwater is kind of magnified, so you have to kind of take into account to make the edit most realistic as possible. So we're going to adjust it to the side and that, and just add it something like that, right? So that's looking good for now. Now this might look really average, but funny enough, we make it into something like this, so it's pretty sweet. Alright, so the next thing, we are going to have to add in those, you know, little things there. So to do that, just download the asset folder and you'll see what I'm talking about. We're going to drag in these ones and start to mess with the layer effects and everything and get them going. Alright, so we can delete that background copy for now. We can name this the top can, and we can name this the bot can. Now, can I still lock layers? Yeah, I can. Alright, sweet as. Alright, so I'm going to rationalize this bit, this layer right here. And we are going to mess with the right layer style, which I can't remember which one it is. So I'm just going to go down back here and see, it's divide. Alright, so we're going to put this on divide. Alright. So this is going to look like this. Sweet. Now we are going to press Ctrl T and just kind of match it along this water edge right here. And look how like kind of cool that adds. Like even like that, it's kind of making the water edge pop a lot more. Alright. And then press Ctrl T, press wrap, right click and wrap. And then just kind of move this one along the edge of the water, right? So we've kind of got that. And then when we press E for our eraser tool and just erase the hard edges, we have kind of manipulated the water edge. Now, just take a note how much of a big difference that does. Even the little things can make an effect look so much cooler. So we're going to keep on doing that by pressing Ctrl J and just horizontally transforming this, and then going along on this edge. And then bam, that's totally different, and you can't really see the difference between that. And I might get my eraser tool, bump up the size to like 1000 or let's say 2K, and make the hardness 0, so when we go, it has a really big, huge, soft edge. Let me demonstrate something to you. So if we go to a new document and just make this right here, right? Now, if I click like this with a brush, and if I go hard, right, hard 100%, when I click, as you can see, it's hard. But if I do it with a soft, look how soft the brush is. So a lot of designers, when they're erasing, they like to use the soft edge brush, or like somewhere in between, or whatever they're trying to erase, right? Because when you have the soft edge, it will blend things in a lot easier, especially when you're doing photo manipulation. So instead of going with the hard edge and just, you know, erasing everything like that, we tend to go with the lower and then start, you know, taking away things like that. So yeah, that's why I pop down the hardness to 0, and that's a visual representation of why. Alright, so we have to make this little bit, middle bit glow. So we are also going to get the other splash, and it's going to be this one, fortunately enough. And we're just going to drag this onto the document. Alright, and that's that layer. Alright, so we're just going to resize this one up and just put this on divide again. maybe mess around with the layer styles to see what other ones offer, but looks like divider's the best one. Right, so we're just going to rotate this one and just position it something like here. Okay, like that. Now we need a flare in this middle because we had some stuff there, so that's what we're going to do here. Now just going to make sure that everything is good. Okay, so with the flare, this will be in the assets folder also. It's just in one of my graphics packs. So I need to go into here. I think it's in the 7K one, 7K graphics pack. So if you go to the channel, I offer this graphics pack for free. It was one of those things where if I had 7K subscribers, I would give this thing away. Now let's see if the light's in here. No, it's not. Fuck me dead. God damn it. I swear I took it from that one. Bro, are you joking? Oh, it's not in lights, it's in flares. I'm retarded. Alright, oh shit, sorry, that would have burnt your ears. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this one into the document. Press Ctrl T, resize this one up. Alright, sweet as. And just kind of drag that onto there. Alright, now we're going to need to apply some effects because currently that water edge is looking pretty good, but the cans just, you know, don't really fit in there. It kind of looks like it's just being plopped and dropped. Now we could go in and like edit the water edge along here and that. We could even try to make our own brush like this, go to eraser tool and go along the edge like that, but that's going to take a bit too much time. So I'm going to go to the blending options, right, and do an inner shadow, right? Now, what this inner shadow is going to do is, if I pop it from the water edge, or I could do actually an inner glow, maybe. And we're going to start to spice up this top can. So we're going to pop an inner glow, right? And we're going to do the opacity like 45%. The size like 50, and the choke, let's do 1. Now we can always edit these later, the effects, because of it's in the layer styles. So that's the awesome thing about layer styles, is they're not permanent. Okay, until you rationalize the layer. Right, so what we also need to do is get in this, and what we're going to do with this is we're going to apply it as a clipping mask over the top of the can. Right click, clipping mask, and then we're going to find an appropriate layer style. This is obviously going to make the can look like it's wet. That's what she said. And let's go through the layer styles to find one. It's just basically toggling through these ones. I can't really remember what I did. I think it's vivid light. That's look pretty good. And then we're just going to change the opacity just to drop that one down a little bit. Okay, now with the eraser, I'm just going to grab a soft one and drop that all the way down there. Alright, sweet as. And we're just going to apply something like that. Alright, now what else we need to do? We need to make this thing light up. So to do that, I've got a perfect image for it. It's this. It's really small, but it ended up working really well to my surprise, and I ended up loving it. So just gonna resize that one, general deal. Already taught you how to resize stuff. Create a clipping mask again, and we're just gonna apply it like that, right? Now, depending on the layer style, it's gonna look really cool. Now, the special one for this is hard light. As you can see, it's already looking really good. Now, obviously, we're going to erase those hard edges away. So we're going to press E for our eraser tool. and you know, just go a little bit hamish on that shit. Let's do 2.5k. Okay, sweet as. And then we're going to press Ctrl J and just resize this one on this side, and then there, and then clipping mask. But it's not going to be as strong as on that side because of our light source is coming from that. And we want to try to make a light source on our document. That's really important. Just make sure that I'm still recording everything. Okay, that's G. So yeah, making sure that you have a specific general idea of where the light source is coming on in your scene will make a huge difference when you're photo manipulating shit. So yeah. So what else do we have to do? We need to start manipulate this bottom. But before we do that, I need to still finish off this top layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Ctrl J on this light one more time. And it might just create this clipping mask. Alright, now I'm just going to make that go on the bottom, but I'm going to press Ctrl U and do like a bluish reflection of that. Alright, now look at the difference that we have made. Doesn't that look like it's kind of getting the reflection from the water? I sure think it does. So that's what we're going to do. We're also going to make a new layer. This layer is going to go below all the light layers. This is going to be our brush layer, and this is where all the shadows are going to come from. The bottom, like that. And we can always change the like opacity like that. Actually, I don't like that. We're not going to do that. But what we are going to do is we're going to go to Filter, Blur, Glushing Blur. And we are going to blur the edges a bit. I think it's box blur. Maybe. I don't know what's the blur for the edges, but let's do 1. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And it's just blurred the edges. It hasn't blurred the text. It looks sweet as. So, what else we're going to do? We are going to start on the bottom. And we could always add on some like other like effects on that top bit, but it doesn't really need to because it looks currently pretty good. So we can always close these folders here. Alright. So the next thing that we're going to do is start to move to the underneath of this thing. Now I might try some new things. So I'm going to group this top can and just name this the top bit. By pressing to group stuff, you just hold Shift, click on that, and then press Ctrl G. Forgot to tell you that. And this is like my first time in Photoshop in 8 months, so I do apologize. I'm going to group this also, and this is going to be the middle water divide. Okay, sweet. Now we're going to start manipulating the bottom layer, so we're going to unlock that. Alright. So, what we could do is we could go to Filter, Distort Ripple. Now, I haven't tried this, but if we go to like a medium, right, and just apply that ripple, let's go to Distort again, Ripple. It's not looking that nice because it is too concentrated, the ripple. Maybe distort, spheralize. Yeah, that could look pretty nice actually. So we're just going to pump this up to like 22%, and that it's not going to really work. Okay, we're just going to leave the bottom one. Now, there's a couple things we need to do. First of all, we need to add a blue tint to this. So we're going to make a new layer. Go to the brush tool, just pick one of these blues right here, paint over that. Right click, clipping mask. then overlay, soft light, and just bump that down. All right, sweet as. What else we're gonna do? We are going to paint into it. So we're going to go to blending options, inner shadow. Now this is where we're going to use the inner shadow. We're going to change the angle to like 35, so it's going to be hitting here and here, but nowhere else. And we're going to bump up the size, the choke, just like that, and the strength. Alright, so it's looking good like that. Sweet as. This is not looking like it's underwater at the moment, so we need to change the opacity a little bit, something like that. And press Ctrl U, change the darkness a little bit, and change the tint of the colors a little bit towards the bluish area, so something like that. Now it's looking a bit better. Now we're going to go to the blur, and we have to be very careful because I said I wouldn't blur it, but actually, you know what you could do for a edge blur? You could go to the eraser, just merge these two together, and get like a really small brush, 0 hardness, and just blur that out. Or just go over the edges like that. Now you would have to be really careful with this. This is kind of like an unconventional way of doing it, but I mean, like, it kind of works because the sucky thing is you have to freehand it. I don't like that. I'm just going to keep it kind of like that. I can box blur it or just like do something really small on it, like something like that, but no stronger. Okay, so I mean that kind of looks underwater, and after when we start to manipulate it, it's gonna look a lot better. So especially like this, I kind of fucked up this bit, I don't know why. Anyway, sorry for my swearing. So what else we're gonna do? We're gonna start to add in the lights. So to do this, we've got the styles pack. This is Wolf Styles pack. So yeah, I mean, like, here's his credit or whatever. I don't know if he's still a designer or whatever, but basically every designer uses it. You do have to pay for it, so I can't just give you the shit out of here. I will though give you this certain like couple lights in my assets folder, so you know, that's that, just to do the tutorial. So yeah, give a like if you like that, hey. So I'm going to be using this light. Just gonna drag this, and what we're gonna do is we're going to start to light the inside of this thing. So I mean, I think I used first of all this one to light the inside, so just going to drag that one in like that, rotate it, okay, and just press Ctrl J a bunch of times, and pop this back on screen so it's a little bit stronger. Right click, do create clipping mask, so it's clipped to that, and then we can change the color of it to something like a blue, so it kind of looks like that, right? You can change the saturation to make it darker, and change the lightness, not to make it look like it's fucking lightning or the thing. Well, you can, but it doesn't really look realistic, if you know what I mean. Okay, so we're gonna change the opacity, 85%, and change the size back of the eraser down to like 1500, and just, you know, kind of erase a bit. Alright, so what we're going to do is going to go to the blending options of this. We're going to do an outer glow, which is there, and we're going to make like this one. Now we're going to change the size so it's like really tight to the lightning, and the opacity something like that. Alright, sweet as. Now I need to go to the can and do a drop shadow. Do the drop shadow wide. I'm just testing this, and drop something like that. I mean, that looks alright, I guess. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Alright, so one extra thing that we're going to do is we're going to start to add in the background and do all the cool lighting, which is pretty easy and anyone can really do it. You know, you just have to go wild. So we're gonna get these 4 images, control click them, and just drag them in all at the same time. Okay. Oops, and this is there. Okay, sweet. And we can delete that. Alright. So we're just going to hide one light at a time and then just spread them out into like a really concentrated area. Alright, there it goes. And these lights are going to be dropped all the way below here. I'm going to do this one, and there's going to be bot can. Okay, sweet. Alright, so we're going to press Ctrl U and change the color of this one to like green, because this is where our kiwi fruit's going to sit. So then we're going to go to this green, this light, press Ctrl J, because these lights all need to be resized, fortunately enough for us. I know, right? And just do like that, press Ctrl U, and go to, you know, a different shade of green, but somewhere with the same, like that. Okay, and then we're going to bring in our kiwi fruit, simple PNG that I'll be using, and just drag that into there, drag that like that. Oh no, the kiwi fruit's showing between the can, but that's fine. And just, why does this keep on fucking opening? Oh, it's because I'm keep on clicking on it, whatever. I'm a Photoshop nub. Why are you teaching me Photoshop? I don't know. You're listening to me. I'm not listening to you. Okay. So that's that, and we're just going to erase this one, but with a hard brush. Just make sure we don't get any of that edge behind the can. Alright, sweet. And I'm just going to change the opacity, or actually, yeah, the opacity, and then I'm going to mess with the levels, so press Ctrl L, and we're just going to give this thing the L by making it more dark, like that. Sweet as. And then even further more, lowering the opacity, something like that, and then go into the filter, blur, clashing blur, and giving it the fucking whoop-de-doo. There we go. Alright, sweet as. Now I've got to pop in another one, so we're going to go to file, open, pop that one in, drop this one back in, and this one is actually just going to sit like somewhere like here, but it's going to have its own lightning. We're going to give it some treatment of love, so we're going to do that. Move this one here, and I'm kind of feeling this strong a bit, like somewhere like that, right? Yeah, looks kind of cool, but we are oh fuck, if I popped up the narrator there, I would have been tilted, dude. I tell you that. Alright, so we're nearing the 35-minute mark of this tutorial. Sweet as. And I'm just trying to find a hue that's kind of good for this one, but different from that. Alright, that's looking pretty good. And then I just want to get this kiwi fruit here and drop that like there. Press Ctrl U and kind of pop that like that, and then go to filter, blur, clashing blur, and just blur this one out, but with a lower radius because it's a smaller object, and do something like that. Now I might just move that one like that. Yeah, make it go like that. Okay, so this thing is way too strong there, so I'm going to get like a brush and just do around the edges so it doesn't affect the lighting of the whole scene. Alright, looks pretty good. And then we are going to add in the strawberries, and then we can do like a couple final touches. If I had Magic Bullet looks here, it could actually look pretty amazing. It still looks amazing regardless, especially regarding the time aspect. And you know, if you have like more experience in Photoshop, I'm sure that you could add in something yourself, and by just watching my videos and, you know, learning Photoshop. You know, after like 2000, I thought I would teach you. I'm joking. Sorry, dude, I'm a bit high tonight. No, I'm joking. There's no weed in Australia. Okay, so we're going to just get a strawberry PNG. Do 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 do. Get this one. Download. Come on, how big's the strawberry? Hang on, I've already got this one. There it is. Okay, so we're gonna need to make the strawberry a PNG. So I'll show you how to do that. Just drag it to the top. Okay. Get your magic wand tool out. Bam. It's a high definition photo, so it shouldn't have trouble selecting that. And we're just going to press Ctrl T, resize this, drop it like that. And I actually might drop this in front of the can for once in my life. Like there. Yeah. And then just go to the opacity. 80%, press L, Control L, and just make this darker like that. Okay. And then we're gonna go to the blur, filter clashing blur, and just go to like 4.2. Sweet. Now once we've done that, I'll show you how to add a tint actually after this. So that came to mind, and that actually might really work really well. So just continue to bring in all these particles in, these ones right here. Now fortunately, most of these ones are for red, so we don't actually have to control most of these ones. So like this one can go here, can go under the bottom of the can. Press Ctrl J a bunch of times just to duplicate those and make it a bit stronger. And go to the green, and then yeah, and then the opacity, something like that. Sweet. Now once we actually start to layer the lights, it will make a huge impact on the actual image. I want that more red. Okay, perfect. Okay, and that one can stay on the top. Okay, and then we have this one, which will actually have to go behind the can and behind that one there, because that's like our base back. Okay, sweet. And then I can still see a couple lights here that I can possibly use. Alright. And this might be our in between the green and the red. So I'm going to press Ctrl U and find a middle ground, which is orange. As the color where it goes in between that. Alright. And then we can add in another strawberry. I'm just duplicating that one. Bumping up the opacity for this one all the way. Actually, drop it down a bit. Drop the base. And there we go. Now just gonna grab this light and add it behind this strawberry. And then we go. So we've got the lights in there, we got something cool on the bottom, and you know, I actually like how this one turned out. They're both really cool. This one's with the blurred one and everything like that. Exact same thing. I covered everything what I did in the preview. You could still do an outer glow on this top can bit by just going to the layer styles and adding like something like that, pumping it up, just to, you know, really make that top bit pop. And if we actually go to like my my graphics pack, I remember there was a light in here, this light. Drop this in here. Drop that here, press Ctrl U. Change the hue like that. Do like an overlay. Like that. Drop the opacity on the soft light. And you could do hard lights. Let's see what other appropriate ones there are. Hard light, soft light, overlay are the ones I would recommend for this one. And just, you know, you could bump that all the way up and then go to the blur, Gaussian blur, and just blur this one out. The streaks, like 8, and then actually drop this behind the bottom of the can, and I think that looks alright. And then you could take away the streaks that, you know, don't really suit the image. So I feel like that part or something like that. And you know, you could definitely like mess around with a whole bunch of different stocks and just make it work, and then you've got something like that, and that's really cool. So yeah, that's how you make and like manipulate an image. Everything will be in the description below, like I said, every single image. So yeah, make sure you go download that, as well as thank you for watching the video. Hopefully I haven't like lost you as a fan. I really appreciate you for tuning back in if you're like one of the past subscribers and everything. So like, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think of my return? A lot of you thought I was dead and everything. So yeah, that's that. Anyway guys, I will see you in the next video in a short time. It won't be 8 months, I promise you. It will be within this week. And yeah, make sure you go check out my Twitter. Subscribe if you haven't already. That feels weird to say. Like the video. Do everything like that, guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. How do I stop this recording? This being first time, right? It's like shift spaced F10.